issue is, or when we play those two teams, when we play Iowa State, we need to do the same thing to them. And like I said, we should have beat Tech. I don't think we would have beat them as bad since being at home, them being at home. But the thing is, if we played this game, if we replicate how we played in this game versus Tech on the road, we win that game. That's what's so frustrating to me.
Yeah. What was the stat? We're like 1-7 in the past
8 Big 12 games.
8 Big 12 games. And, with a lot of those being away, it's just, we have to find a way to get up and get ready for these away games because, we go into Stillwater, these different places. I mean, we have to get up for these games, and we just have to find a way. I'm impressed with the defense in this game. Stopping the run. Of course, them. A lot of West Virginia fans are going to say, "Oh, well, C.J. Donaldson got hurt." Yeah, but he got hurt in the third quarter,
and he didn't do much before that.
So, and again, knock on him, of course. But stopping the run, JT getting pressure on JT. I think Barron Sorrell had 2 sacks. I seen Overshone shoot out of a cannon a few times and just make absolutely great plays. And Jalen Ford continues to week after week develop and be the player that we thought he could be in the preseason.
Yeah, right now defensively he's our best player, and then I think it's between DeMarvion, Jahdae Barron, and Barron Sorrell are the other 3 in contention. But basically everyone else has played to an okay but not great level. Like I said, I think this defense just needs to be one of those defense sound tackling. I think we should expect that, flying to the football, and then a little bit of pressure. I don't expect us to be overpowering up front, and I don't expect us to generate a lot of turnovers. But if we can just be an average defense, keep everything in front of us, and corral to the football, kind of like the old Indianapolis Colts team used to do with the Peyton Manning days. They really, other than Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis, didn't have a lot of talent on defense. But the one thing they did do is fly to the football when that football was in play. And that's what I think we need to do. And the thing is, there's really, on defense in the Big 12, there's no elite defenses. There really isn't. And then the combination of that, if you do have even a good defense, your offense for the most part isn't that good. I watched the TCU and Oklahoma game today. Oklahoma looks absolutely piss poor on defense. I mean, 27 points in the first quarter, guys running wide open. So we should be able to take advantage of that. And unfortunately in that game, Dylan Gabriel did take a cheap shot. You can say what you want. That was a cheap shot. And I don't know if he'll be available. So that'll be interesting. Both of the starting quarterbacks could be out. And if that's the case, that favors Texas a lot, because Hudson Card is much better than, I don't know his first name, but I believe his last name is Bellevue or something of that nature.
Bellevue.
He is not good.
Yeah, it's, depending on whether or not Gabriel is able to go, that guy's a difference maker in that Oklahoma offense, and it's clear to see as soon as Bellevue came in. But no matter who is back there, we still have to get pressure, still sound tackling. Our coverages have to match up with our pass rush. Everything has to click right, because this is a game. Throw the records out the window, it's going to be madness. So we have to be ready for anything coming at us.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't really care who's starting at quarterback for either team. I don't care about the records. I mean, year in, year out, this is a one-possession football game, period. So I expect the same thing going forward in this game. Oklahoma's going to be fired up, play above their head. Texas will probably be fired up, play above their head. It's the people that, like we saw last year, we came out guns a-blazing, got a big lead, and then blew it. And like we said, we were 1-7 in the last 8 Big 12 games coming in before today. I believe we held a lead in almost every one of those games, at least 7 of them. I'm not 100% sure about 8, but 7 of them we held a lead. And that's the biggest issue, is being able to keep the foot on the gas and be good. I think we did that well through 3 quarters today. I would agree in the fourth quarter, we did not do that. Now there is that thing where you gotta have to play 50-50 there, because if Hudson Card gets hurt, we're in real trouble. And that's the thing too, is he's already limping around again, and we can't afford to get him hurt, because then at that point you're going to Charles Wright, who has never taken meaningful snaps, or Malik Murphy, who has barely played and practiced, or he hasn't played at all, but he hasn't practiced that much either because he's been hurt. So I kind of get that in the fourth quarter, especially being up so much and the defense playing well. What are your insides on next week's game? What do you think determines that game next week?
Oh man, coming out and making adjustments. You have to make series to series adjustments on defense. You know, no matter what quarterback's playing, you have to game plan for them both pretty much. But you know, I wouldn't doubt that Gabriel is back next week, so I'd probably plan for him. It depends on what you know, how severe the concussion was. If he had a concussion, I'm not sure. I didn't see any reports. I don't really read too much into Oklahoma, but you know, they have a very capable running back in Eric Gray. You know, they got a couple of running backs over there, and of course Marvin Mims Jr. Those guys are definitely hard to cover. But I think we have all the tools to make it a game and to make it a very, very competitive. If we play our A game from start to finish, we could make it look like TCU game.
I would agree with that because we have better weapons than TCU, and if Quinn Ewers plays, the better quarterback easily. But if I think Hudson Card and Max Duggan are basically on the same level, I don't think there's actually they're pretty similar, to be honest with you. Very athletic and very mobile, and also can throw a decent ball. Max Duggan also struggles with the deep ball unless he plays Texas. Hudson Card cannot hit a deep ball to save his life. He made that one today, but threw it into double coverage and got lucky with it. But there was a lot of breakdowns on that Oklahoma defense. There were guys running wide open, not great tackling. They just didn't look good on defense at all. But the thing is, as you know, D, for the last couple Red River rivalries, they've been able to generate pressure that they didn't versus anyone else. They got a ton of sacks the last three Red River rivalries versus us. So that will be the thing. If we can protect whoever is at quarterback, I think we'll be able to win this game. That's going to be the key, in my opinion.
Yeah, I completely 100% agree. You know, Barron Sorrell, all those guys, you know, generating pressure with Jalen Ford and Demario Overshone. Just, you know, throw stuff at them that they haven't seen. You know, don't just play basic coverages. Don't play basic blitz packages. You know, throw some wild stuff at them because they don't have the greatest offensive line. You know, they don't have the greatest run game, but they have capable players. And if you miss a tackle here and there, you know, like we didn't miss very much today. But, you know, I will say that, you know, JT and Dylan Gabriel are very similar as far as like decisiveness and can carve up a defense. You know, Reggie Grimes on that defensive side of the ball, he can get after the quarterback. I actually watched him play in high school here in Tennessee when he was at Ravenwood. So I'm very familiar with Reggie Grimes, and you know, just I seen is it Woody Washington, their corner?
Yeah,
I seen like Oklahoma fans screaming to just get him out of the game. You know, and he's been a mainstay there for a few years now.
Yeah, he's been on their team for a while and played a lot. And I would agree, Dylan Gabriel and JT Daniels are pretty similar. Dylan Gabriel, I would say, is more accurate, whereas JT Daniels does have a bigger arm, and he's also more mobile, obviously. Yeah. But he can do some good things. Obviously, in this game, what I saw is TCU, knowing that he doesn't have a great arm, sat on a lot of the short stuff and just made him throw the ball deep. And then just as soon as they saw that foot hit or the back foot hit for Dylan Gabriel, they immediately broke on the wide receivers. And I think Texas needs to be more aggressive on doing that. When you know he can't push the ball downfield, you need to be able to do those things.